May you show so short time now. Bono watche. Ebraso say ye day XYZ tonight. Bebramo TV XYZ. Jumedie air live on YouTube so. Ewo TV XYZ. Live on Facebook. Ewo TV XYZ. And I feel so I be for the video so. Baby I dim kuta hudie pa. Anumana wo suna your friend Twitter no. Ye was so hashtag near hashtag XYZ tonight. And then Jumedie no es no so kwa because and ye ne. Her Excellency, the French ambassador to Ghana, Nanwa, the Chiching, walk I say, we come to Chimuno, your child said, well, you media go TV so I your friend a touch of France. Now, side you media so and what a special edition be eba. Now, ye ne no akaboma, and a special edition no day bano, wabra, one His Excellency, Nanado Danko Kufado Betanasino, XYZ tonight. Yanena Kabuma, and someone who will be your baby Sebisano. On this program, we'll bring you a special edition of A Touch of France with the French ambassador to Ghana, Her Excellency Sophia Ave. Now, later on the program, so Adiaba Kwaya said, Yabeshe, the New Patriotic Party, as a political party in Ghana. Already, someone said, Nanado Danko Kufuado, the 8 years, we're trying no our or they brother really no and after 8 years to study a constitution in no want to be mabio embejina say war pre mampanyi di bre no eti why the best succeed His Excellency Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo wa bra ni 8 years no abana wie and then you be full blown analysis bi amamo e wo XYZ tonight baby a wo bia me mo akọ ababa dwumadie no so ye be sie. And as always, the show is live and interactive on WhatsApp. We'll display the numbers on the screen shortly. And I think so on Facebook, want to hear from you. Just as I mentioned to you, it's a special edition of A Touch of France, a program hosted by the French ambassador to Ghana, Her Excellency Sophia Ave Anne. Now, on this special edition, she had a conversation with the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo. Yenshe.
Bonjour, salut! The best things are always made of the finest ingredients. Just a touch of this and a touch of that. C'est parfait! So how about a touch of France? Join us as we discover France, its people and its culture. Also, find out about the touch of France here in Ghana. French companies, French culture, and of course, the French language. Parlez-vous français? Hey! Learn, explore, and experience a touch of France. Is a popular destination for professional expatriates as many multinational companies have situated their headquarters there. Whereas different opportunities may have influenced their choice to settle in France, infrastructures, healthcare standards, quality and cost of living are also part of the equation. When moving to another country for work, one must be prepared. It is important to have an understanding of the workplace etiquette in a new environment to help with a seamless transition. Even for those with a lot of experience in the job role and their industry, the new workplace culture can take some adapting to. You may ask, what is it like to work in France? What is it like to work for a company with France? Let's learn about all that right here in A Touch of France.
Hello, bonjour, welcome, bienvenue to Touch of France, the show that tells you all about France and France in Ghana. Today, we are going to talk about business, work and business in France, between France and Ghana. And to talk about that, I'm not in my regular Café de France. I'm here at Jubilee House because guess what? My guest for today is no other than the President of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Did you know he spoke French? Did you know he was working in France up to a point? I'll ask him all about this. Come with me, we'll have a very interesting conversation with the President. Let's go to Jubilee House. Welcome on Touch of France, the show that tells you about France and France in Ghana. And today I am blessed with being welcomed by the President of Ghana here in this very room where I presented my credentials. Isn't that amazing? Mr. President, thank you so much for having me.
Well, I'm touched by your inviting me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we will talk about France and your experience of France, but the French-Ghanaian relations lately, since 2017, have known a huge boom since President Macron was the first French president to come. Is that when it actually started?
No, I don't think so. I mean, the relations with France have been good for a long time, but obviously the arrival of the first sitting French president in our country was definitely a milestone. And I was very privileged that it should have happened. It happened very early on
under your office.
in my mandate, that I was the first Ghanaian president to welcome a sitting French president to Ghana. Is a big, I think, feather in my cap, and I enjoyed the experience very much.
And Emmanuel Macron chose you then in 2019 during your presidential visit to address the diaspora. Did you understand it the way that France wants to cooperate with Africa, precisely the way Ghana wants to cooperate with France?
But I think that that has been at the center of the relationship. And it makes sense for both of us. We are an English-speaking island.
Yeah, indeed.
Essentially a French
Yes.
sea. Our western border, our eastern border, our northern border are all French-speaking countries. Official language is French, and we're right there in the middle. The south is the Atlantic. So it makes a lot of sense for us to have a special relationship with those countries, and of course with France as well. So it's the reason, for instance, for our interest in La Francophonie. It makes a lot of geopolitical sense for us in Ghana. These are our immediate neighbors, and for us to be able to relate with them in a meaningful way, we ought to get beyond language. I dislike intensely this francophone, anglophone, or these distinctions that there are of language amongst us as Africans. We have all of us to be ambidextrous. We should all be polyglots.
Absolutely. Which you already are, somehow.
But it should be, I shouldn't be an exception. It should be the population, so that we can deal with each other easily and directly. And language is a very important instrument for serious communication between any people. So it makes a lot of sense for us to have a privileged relationship with our neighbors, and of course also with France, which continues to have a great deal of influence in our area.
Well, you went to France and you lived and worked in France.
For 5 years.
5 years?
As a young man, yeah.
So when was that exactly?
At the very beginning of the 1970s. I went to France in 1970, in the last year of Georges Pompidou's presidency.
Right.
Yes.
That was my next question. So I thought I would trick you with who was the president. Yes.
Georges Pompidou.
Yes.
And I mean, as a Ghanaian who was educated in England, that had been the exposure. All the experience was English related, and I thought I should have experience of another European civilization before finally coming back to Ghana. And
so it was a choice.
It was a choice.
You thought you wanted a second
yes,
European
I did.
country.
I thought that experience would be good, and France made a lot of sense to me for the same reasons as I gave. All our neighbors are French, and I thought that it would make somebody, because right from the beginning I always intended a political career.
Oh, you thought of it.
Yes,
so you thought that you were actually accumulating assets
to make that experience. I come from a very political family.
Yes,
as I'm
which
sure
surprised
you know.
me that you went to France in 1970, because actually the leader here, the head of state at that time,
was my father.
Was your father?
A little bit also to escape all of that.
Oh yeah, like we all do when we're young.
Yes, yes.
So when you arrived in France, did you know France before? Or is it your first visit?
Yes, I'd been there a couple of times as a student in London. I'd gone, like all of us do, for every now and then for a weekend in Paris and all of that.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed the idea that I was going to go and work there. And I was unfortunate. A very famous and very well established American law firm was good enough to offer me a job in
Paris.
In Paris as conseil juridique, as they were known in those days in Paris. Those of us
So it was the very beginning of a career of a lawyer when you begin as a conseiller juridique.
Absolutely, and I began it in France.
Right.
Really an extraordinary experience for me, because the firm was the main law firm for the major American companies that were doing business in Europe, in France and in Europe. So you found that the big American multinational companies, Ford, Lockheed, Bank of America, Citibank, all of these were clients of Couder. And it gave me a big insight into how those corporations work and the mindset that animates them. They also had important French
companies,
especially those who had a lot of international exposure, like Marcel Dassault. The French aviation company was a client of Couder's as well.
And one of your clients was also a wine company, or is it?
Yes, Lillet.
Yeah. What struck you the most when you for the very first time, when you settled down in France? What was your biggest amazement compared to what you had lived in Ghana, but also in England?
In England.
I mean,
what is difficult to escape in Paris? In Paris, of course, is the architecture, the structure of the city, the blend between the old and the new is seamless in France.
What did you take away from this experience in France?
Firstly, of course, from the work side, an understanding a little bit of the dynamics of international economic intercourse, the considerations that motivated the great companies of the world in search of markets, in search of natural resources, how they thought and went about it, was one very important. Secondly, of course, having exposure to French civilization and to be able to understand the dynamics of the cultivation of France was also, and of course, thirdly, being able to speak the language was an immense bonus for the 5 years that I was in France.
But that's quite impressive, and I'll get back to this, because you were actually working in English on a daily basis.
Not really. It was to some extent also French, because at the end of the day, the work of the office was advising American, Anglo-Saxon clients, if you like, Anglo-American clients on French law. If you're coming to do work in France, you need to have a clear understanding of French corporate law. You have to interact with French lawyers to do so. Not all of them spoke English, so you have to. So getting the language, and the fourth aspect of it too, which has proved invaluable, is that just as English-speaking West Africans congregate in London, French-speaking Africans congregate in Paris.
Yes.
So it gave me an opportunity to get to know people from Mali, from Cote d'Ivoire, from the then Upper Volta, Burkina Faso today, from Cameroon, whom I would otherwise never have met had I not actually lived in Paris, and developed some very strong relations with some, especially the lawyers, Alioune Badoussen in Senegal, Dominique Kanga in Cote d'Ivoire. These were quite well-known French Francophone lawyers in Senegal and Cote d'Ivoire, who became personal friends of mine as a result of the stay in Paris. Jean-Gabi Senghor, all of these people became very good friends of mine. And it helped. It helped in the reintegration in West Africa and also in being able to move around the area.
We'll carry on talking about French. We certainly need a little sip of water, so we'll take just a very short break. And don't go anywhere. We will be back. You will, in the meantime, be able to look at the documentaries. We will show you what we do in France when it comes to work and business, and what we do here in Ghana, the French companies, and what the French embassy does to support Ghanaian companies as well. And then we will be back.
We are one man short. Should we invite him?
Yeah.
It be old cargo.
Can I join you guys?
Yeah. Always drink fresh, natural, mix, mineral, water.
Still got it. Always keep hydrated naturally. That's my secret.
Manufactured with the primary aim of preserving nature's finest minerals necessary for a healthy mind and body. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural.
XYZ tonight or TV XYZ and I face so XYZ or YouTube and Facebook. Baby, I will be a Koswafa or Jenchenu Susi Bra French ambassador one a year. His Excellency Nanado Danko Kufado Nomote Jubilee House or Woodin Common and Commotion Ejina a year. Mampenyi ne nanti anase brand wo swa no ma wo ye wa brand wote France. I want to commotion nyina ejina. Na yebesa ko back na yetie commotion yesa ba biewa. And to say them can catch on, you bear some full blown analysis be someone in some mampanyin and another Danko Kufado in 8 years, banner by a banner and swa. Why in the best succeed or not as flag bearer of the new patriotic party and no more bang and a month for an answer to Memofu who Alpha Sound for your machas here, a you mutis or moneba pre Franca Tuni Dibre or MPP home. A dear no man who na ebeya kwansidie amomo anase ebeya plus amomo wabra omoko omabatu ewo eye political party na ye friend no new patriotic party na and the board you so ye be di so agro na fe so ye be lines no so atum na mo de madwenche enso aba ewo ensem ni bia medan na di e de ache mo basabre yes anko back to the interview na ye ba ya to adwumade ne so
MPS we connect.
Welcome back to Touch of France. I hope you enjoyed the documentaries. I'm here with His Excellency, Mr. President Nana Akufo-Addo, President of Ghana. This is a blessing. Thank you so much for having me. And we were having a conversation about France and about French, and you were mentioning the fact that speaking French was important. How can I convince the Ghanaian people that speaking French is important?
A lot of it will always be a function of trade. And increasingly, especially with both the development of the community, the ECOWAS community economic space, trade liberalization, the customs union, and then now with the bigger one, the Continental Free Trade Area, which is going to then focus so much more on intra-regional trade. I think as a necessary consequence, the language will have to be a determinant of that, and it will be a very important incident of our capacity to trade effectively. But as people say quite rightly, we haven't to forget that the borders of our country are inhabited by the same people on both sides of the border. They don't have any difficulty communicating with their equivalents on the other side. But nevertheless, as the trade becomes more and more formalized, I think that the necessity for both sides, both the French-speaking as well as the English-speaking people, to be able to exchange direct information in the languages that they speak is going to be almost irresistible and very important.
Do you think you will reach a point when you apply in a company for a job, when you're looking for a job, having French on your CV will be as crucial as having English on your CV when you apply in France?
I think that, of course, as Ghana's export potential, capacity to export its products, especially value-added products, increases and intensifies, yes, the Ghanaian companies will be looking to populate their sales departments, their international sales departments, export departments with people who have the facility in the language. I can see that coming very easily. And in any event, the greater the links, the stronger the integration, and you're talking about links of language, of culture, of blood. All these are very important links that enable people to be able to find living in the same space.
How easy was it for you to learn French?
You're living in a country. Your friends are all from there. You live within French social circles. You have no choice.
You pick it up.
You have to pick it up. It's as simple as that. And I think within 6 months of being in Paris, I could make myself understood, and I could also follow serious conversations in the language, and it grew from there.
Well, that's quite
amazing. One or two French people of your, how do I put it, gender, do I say?
Women.
Yes.
Oh yes, this kind of teaching. I see. Yes. Okay.
It helps.
Oh, it helps. Yeah, certainly. Yes, that's probably well, they say French is the language of love, so indeed it's probably the best way to learn. Okay, so but there's a different vocabulary than the business vocabulary, of course. Yeah, so it widens the prospect. Oh, I get that. But then, okay, so that might be the reason why I haven't caught any tree yet.
Well, maybe.
But more seriously, I realized that every Ghanaians I've met who speak French speak perfect French. And most of the French who try and learn other languages are not so good. So, at other languages. Would you say that because you speak so many local languages, which are actually languages, with their grammar, with their different vocabulary, the brain is probably more sponges to catch up and pick up different languages?
I mean, yes, I have no doubt that the historical and cultural context for us as Ghanaians must have a lot to do with it, because you grew up in Ghana, especially those of us who grew up in the city here in Accra, speaking the language of the Ga people, who are the indigenous of Accra, came naturally. Speaking your own Akan, Matrice or tree origin, obviously in the house, that's also the language of so that you find lots and lots and lots of Ghanaians who are automatically polyglot.
As a foreigner, that's one of the magic of this country, is that you have managed to keep all your differences, all your specificities, as this beautiful patchwork languages, traditions, culture, and yet unite as a country.
Yes,
and that is amazing. And of course, the welcoming of the Ghanaian people, I experience it every day. And because they've shared so much with me, that's what the whole show was also about, trying to share back and give a bit about the French culture, lift a little corner of a curtain about the French culture. I'm sure you know the Marseillaise, the French national anthem.
Okay, yes, I do.
So I don't want, I'm not asking you to sing it because your team would obviously shoot me, and I know they're ready to do so. But so my question is, would you know what the Ghanaian anthem, the first words would be in French?
God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make her greater. So, que Dieu bénisse notre patrie, le Ghana, et ronde notre nation grande et forte. Quelque chose comme ça.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And your anthem is full of hope. Ours was obviously a war song, ours.
A revolutionary
song.
Yeah.
So what would, for our viewers, be Allons enfants de la patrie, le jour de gloire est arrivé. What would that be in English? Or in Twi, whatever, but, you know, how...
In English.
Yeah.
Arise, children of the fatherland. Our day of glory is at hand or near.
Is arrived, yes, absolutely. Well, then the rest is more bloody kind of. Yeah, it's very. It's a war. It's a war.
No, but
song.
it's but at the same time it's very inspiring. It's.
Well, I like the tune. I like the tune.
The tune is excellent.
We've had debates about changing the words, but I like the tune. Yeah. And I must say, hearing your personal national anthem played when you're overseas is always a very emotional moment.
Yes, it is indeed.
It is. Thank you so much, Mr. President. Merci infiniment.
Merci beaucoup pour l'invitation.
Thank you. Thanks for talking to me. Meda c'est pas. That's still the most I know about Twi. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it very much.
And thanks for playing the game. Dear viewers, stay with us because we will have the quiz.
All right, so a touch of France special edition, and now of course, yeah, baby, and here pie, and in Kuta with the answer and come on, Mampenny and other Danko Kufado etchetry. But you realize that there was an exchange of ideas and culture. Mampenny, when you were hard, you who of France, or more said, we see your normal, what the Toto Ghana normal one, saying a normal city, of course, or Kasafa, French for national anthem, Ghana for national anthem. French for the Casa for Montoko Bio Mu said the Musi free or Kone, they said it's a guide or more of France. And of course, Ghana so anthem no so a Casafa Hope. But I'm sure say Ubza was anthem no the Eka and ne Asudia die so and then summer war your national anthem anymore. And none that you hunu ewa Ghana Mampenyin and other Danko Kufado na Memu Muana. Of course. To say you can catch on what Xyz tonight, and you better some analysis be afa the political party, New Patriotic Party, and ne omodachi. Sabre Mampenyin and Ado Danko Kufuado, ne first year one away, 6 beba, 7 beba, now of course 8, not in the Jumedi, say Mampenyin Afenso Frankatuni, Emma MPP Amanyo Kono, Abanarie. Now that's no saying the city, Emma, the political party, New Patriotic Party. And no any about be doing Jumasi see and I'm a what tell so pa na wutie na wabra ye bie phone lines na yaka say ubeti beche wadwen no won so wetimi ache wadwen ye yekọ board no so na yenhwe ade bi sisi omo edikan e say wo flyers mu any kasakasa bi akokọ any atke atesem bi and of course by default ubesusu say wabra Mampenyin na Ado Danko Akufo-Addo okono na bedi echi Dr. Mamadou Bawumia na abia obeba step in amafo kan of course ye flyers bi and nam round omocha say breaking the 8 in the home chronoba but ye nim fa no ho Dr. Mamadou Bawumia wono na ye vice president of the Republic of Ghana a free 2008 elections 2012 elections 2016 2020 Dr. Mamadou Bawumia na aye Mampenyin na Ado Danko Akufo-Addo na bedi echi ebesi sabria mampanyin Nana Danko Akufo-Addo eko wono one of the people some analysts and ase uma eba ya manual sema omutimi che omadwen atepo se mampanyin Nana Danko Akufo-Addo ni ho a wono ene betimi ababe abade achi but Dr. Mamadou Bawumia wabra no more opposition yeko abatuo nim 2008 yeko abatuo 2012 yeko abatuo mu 2016 and of course 2020 lectures ahodo ne nsem ahodo a waka nyina eche se ono no ye obi a oda ne ho adi se eba ye sika sem ntoto ye mu paade a wabin wom but ene wono na mampani abadi etie wono na head of the economic management team as head of the economic management team ne nsem a wokan ye wabra no opposition se eba ye sika sem ntoto ye na obetima hwe ama Ghana sem sika sem agina so no sa asem ya wokan wo de toto ne dwumadie ho a sɛn na sitie na sɛ wo de toto ne dwumadie ho a ebetima ba ba ya kwansidie ama no wa abra MPP for ebebopo anaso mbetu anamon sɛ ombetu aba ayi a flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party ana ebetima ya kwansidie ama no ebi esusu kura sɛ mampanyin Dr. mampanyin abedi eche Dr. Mamadou Bawumia in opposition ne nsɛm ɔkan ye wo de toto nya ye hunu enebre ya ene ne bo abura for instance and some of you can say, oh my Ghana, buy a sika 722 yera, you move from taxation to production. That's just you better for the new muscle. I'm on my Ghana sika sem ejinaso. Na etwa hodwa ye de to a man for so and I say ye de to memo for so no. Sa te bia ye be free. Ye kan normal or kan ye bra no opposition. Ye kan nsema o kafa ye sidi ye sika sidi na ho oden. Ye kan nsema o kafa e ka na eye aban na wo no sa bra na dia beto ye so ene nia osusu se anka aban no betimi dia ye ene so man Ghana ye ko documents mu ye ko ye nkrata mu ye ko enoma asisi a ye nyina ye di tua e kasan ni abo ato o man Ghana tiri so ene ye nchirima bosia sen na yaje anasa aban we age as head of the economic management team to said your kan ye bra no opposition you know say sika saro omu betimi dia ye mpuntu nwuma no sa mpuntu nwuma no na Ghana fo ehu ana. Now these issues are obviously going to play out say you drew MPP for flag bearership race in ma e betima be ya kwansidie ama Dr. Mamadou Bawumia ene ebi mu kra no image omanya afa no ho no say ase woni Ghana fo eni ne ye ba no koreka mu a of course Dr. Mamadou Bawumia e de no yanko the next person. Now, honestly, very, very critical and a very instrumental. Dr. Akoto Osei, Minister for Agriculture, and also rumors have it say, also be unity and per what we know, there was some documentaries via you national TV so paying, and I'm sure say we Google and also YouTube say we go on Sabeka. Was that documentary on my far His Excellency Nana Danko Akufo-Addo. Dr. Akoto Osei reveal say, Mampanyin Nana Danko Akufo-Addo. No, we are not done for. In fact, and today he's a minister. Yedi Jumedie Kesi bi say Ashenesem say agric minister. Now about agriculture, on my Ghana and Pembezo Ben Yedru. Of course, you know say a contracts a hodwa yede say contractors and some one nya kwan enko miamia yemfuo ne ye koko mfuo wono. Sa contract no ekosi say sa kwan no ye nya of course you remember said we suspended cocoa roads and then sama amount for ekafa ho and as a great minister ne one of their flagship program your friend of planting for food and jobs no enuane say and na pay so o my Ghana and na ye di amen and afen so we planting for food and jobs program no enuma say and etimi e dia bre eye Ghana for mabunu no that's some of the questions are man for baby sir. Of course, wabra wadini wesi was say obeja to more and I say a idea or person ya. Those are some of the questions are man for baby sir. Na omasha say yedebato a year susudia so near susakari sampa wo yobi obet medi New Patriotic Party nani mana. And I say sansem ya mabobos way. Any day wo with him and I said ye weni tue. Ebeba be ya kwansidie e de ama Dr. Akoto Osei wabra wo pese wo pre and I say amount for air suggests say what pray upper flag bearership slot of the New Patriotic Party. You call the next person and no Honorable Alan Kojo Chemantain, currently one of the Minister for Trade and Industry, and this is not the first time Nidia ba up as Obia or Peso Ye Frankatuni Emma Eye MPP Amanyo Kuno. The last time Nidia ba up That was as far back as 2008. Mbekaya wakofo pension now we trade and industry minister. Na pension na omo introduce a presidential special initiative. Now, sa presidential special initiative no discussions be around it. HSA that program was a total disaster. It was a total failure. Now, what better nipa do so ni omu see was a MPP flag bearership slot in 2008 no omo pre apeno na eye Alan Kojo Chiramanten no dima kwotene pa. In fact, no ne Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo na yakoye neck to neck. No mo pa na epem so ebe radio so mo an ye title mo jingle o mo an ye title say amanfo come ho asem na ye Kojo Chiramanten and afi so Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo. As trade and industry minister in the Kufuor administration, a lot of people felt say he was a failure. Now, going into the 2008 elections, no more friend Alan Cash, if he said, no be more, ask more can I say, or push cash at the Ashim, said about ya, obey me a winning election. But in Uncle Siaga, 2008 elections, one Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo, no more marker, as a Kennedy, no home crowd, a prehon, Nana Akufo-Addo, and a dim kunim. Alan Kojo Chiramanten, a Casacasa be a buying watching who free party nim kakra. Now, Sadia na esi ye no, Emma rift be beda party mbesi sabre. In fact, who MPP moi, it is very common say obetise nkonfo ka say ye wo Alan Kojo Chiramanten camp and ye wo Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo camp. Now that thing has always been there and it still exists. Would that play out wa bra Alan Kojo Chiramanten wo the amanfo susuo ene nia eboboba ede ne hu si wo say wo pese wo ye eye Frankatuni Emma MPP amanyoko no enu betima be ya akwansidie e de amana na wono ma wo ye in the past efa eye New Patriotic Party ho. In fact, in 2008 bra wo twe ne ho no ebi mu kra ka se wondo party no sabre ya wone Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo abeya adwuma as say Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo na boss as eye minister as president of Ghana, now on only minister for trade and industry. What are some of the achievements? And I said, no matter why, yeah, even those outside the New Patriotic Party, bet me do almost so. I can say, obey a trade and industry minister no or born homoding. Okay, I said 2000 joint Kufuor's administration, yeah, the presidential special initiative sharing. The narrative then was that it was a failure. In Akufo-Addo administration, yeah, one district, one factory, one of their flagship program. Under a year, Alan Kojo Chiramanten, the modern more was sad, you know, at the same. Factory say, and yes, Yama, a year Ghana for Abua, Ama Mebuno to Duana, and ye Juma. And so, sad, you know, will play out a bar analysis, a man for Baye, Eddie Asher say, Ampa, Alan Kojo Chiramanten, on the Betty Bedi, a year New Patriotic Party in him. You call the next person after Yen Shadibi. Honorable Joe Gatti. Of course, what kind of say former second deputy speaker, former deputy attorney general, former member of parliament, Esikado, a year Ketan constituency, former railway minister. Now, what do you yemfa? Nanu ya yen railway minister. Enfanye susudi yen shadibi. Ebra no ye railway minister no. Eba a year keteke kwine. Na ye adia na da Akufo-Addo aban no ani so. So beye na dia boa. Na akwantuo wonsem no etima kwa nanim no ebra ye de sa dwumadie ehye honorable Joe Gatti nsem no ekosi sei sanko bo no homoden a anka wonyini se ke bia ye besa retain ana se ye beta aka se wonto na dwuma so well, of course Akufo-Addo san ba ye a wo power no ministers hi ya monidin but of course ye dim se wokoka wakasa fidie bi so etu nanum tuo se wo pese wokọ as flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party going into the 2024 elections. But in the modern more as railway minister no, a bit more be ya consider mano. Wabra a man for peja and some be so no mashe say ampa sanko fwe umbet me the New Patriotic Party anymore na. Yen shad ye bin so wa say. Omo maka a omudi nyama no ye guso a ye hwe say edin foforo bit ma ba na. Edin bia beba bia no so ye begina so na ya hwe omumodem mo ewo normal bebremu a omaye ewo Ghana ha sei na yetimi e de nkomo. But these are the forerunners. Omu omudin ewo soro pa eye Dr. Mamadou Bawumia ena Alan Kojo Chiramanten. Ghana fo nyina nim se wo eye etitiri fo mienu wei omudwumadie mu no Ghana fo dodo na say obia we mienu nyina obia feli in one way or the other. About Dr. Mamadou Bawumia na yesika sem as head of economic management team saying the city here ninsema wo kan ye ene noma ye hunu ene sabre e wo man Ghana no ye de toto ho a saying the city here we obetima ye openia obetime di eye MPP amanyokuo nanim wabra ye kwa abato anim in 2024 na mpo se wo wini as a flag bearer na se wo wini flag bearer slot na obetimi ene His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wabra ye kwa 2024 elections no SCNE ama wetimi aba out as a victorious person and also obetime dinkunim ama New Patriotic Party na based on what the people of Ghana know about him as against near amafo nim about His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say, and the facts are there, we can all check. The facts are there, say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama brano ye mampanyi wo Ghana ha say no ne modern more eba infrastructure ne modern more eba yadisha wonsem ne modern more eba normal ebetima boa no minor ye ho etima hare ye ne modern more eba amemwo ho a ni nyina wo de toto sabre ya Dr. Mamadou Bawumia waya mampania bedi echi na saying the city here. And these things will play out should Bawumia emerge as flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party. These things are bound to play out. And also may assure said delegates of the New Patriotic Party no ombeshe afi Dr. Alan Martin and also the pedigree and medical culture as Trade and Industry Minister, both in Kufuor administration and the Kufuor administration, saying the normal esikoye presidential special initiative failure no e betimi abeye threat amano wabra omoko elections anymore. And I feel so one district one factory failure no so e betimi abeye threat the friction that and as a faction that MPP mo maybe a body di say Alan Camp Kufuor camp no e betima be play out abeye major obstacle amano wabra omoko elections ni mu ana ye hwa ade bi na ehu pa. Now in terms of the Bawumia factor yana maybe in fact in the last elections 2020 elections no maybe am forecast Bawumia will make a lot of gains in the northern region and intina MPP man home minister wo northern region hono enti hono Bawumia factor no edi akotene pa ba Bawumia faita former Vice President Aliu Mahama suffer no eno abi no betima suffer na question will be able to sa faith now was suffering because ne bebre na adwen you say we abra kofo every scene him no well Aliu Mahama na bedi eche so why shouldn't there be a unanimous vote and as a unanimous declaration say Dr. Ali the late president the late Vice President Aliu Mahama embeye Franka Tunima MPP amanyoko no amasa omunyina nipa dunso esto santene emye to omoso abam yeyi na do danko akufuado sa faith na to the late Vice President Aliu Mahama no ebetimato Dr. Mamadou Bawumia based on the fact say na damanfo no say MPP akanfo a party. But of course we know the history of the New Patriotic Party. Omo the northern part of Ghana no form a very critical part of the formation of the New Patriotic Party. But in the coming years, and I say in previous times, Kamia is a narrative ni yadane, ama for amana ye say a Akanfo party. Would that play out? Already, yenim die nanado danko Kufuor sabre in the northern part of Ghana. People who say sane turn now in the northern part of Ghana. No, it is some subtle way. Well, fashion, Edia marketed Dr. Mamadou Bawumia. Ebeye Juma na. A question amount for Ebusa. So these are the regions in the northern part of Ghana. Amount for Susu say Dr. Mamadou Bawumia obitima make gains. Northern region, northeast region, Savannah region, upper west region, and the upper east region. Now in the case of Alan Kojo Martin, people are looking at a part of the eastern region and of course the Ashanti region. Ashanti region predominantly. One amount for say Alan Kojo Martin ebetimi I'm making a lot of gains in terms of the possible chances say obetima babe flag bearer ama the New Patriotic Party. Yensha adie 2020 elections results na buy no. The amount for can say the Bawumia factor no. At the end ma yehunu ye in terms of results MPP amanyoko ne nyae. Northeast region MPP enya presidential MPP nya 122,742. And after in the northern region MPP enya 409,963. In the Savannah region 80,605. In the upper east region 170,340. In the upper west region 121,230. And after way representation of vote no namede atuase. But the Ashanti region of course in terms of the number of votes a year MPP Ghana some 1,795,824 votes in that part of the country. A whole and a man for a temple say Alan Martin ebetimi ambeki gains. But even if Alan Martin should emerge, say flag bearer of the MPP, North Ashanti region kwa betimi abe the Trump card. Of course, you know that say NDC for settle on John Dramani Mahama. You know that on also our popularity power in these parts, the northern part of Ghana. Of course, our popularity in the Bro part of Ghana because of people have said it that the Lodida factor plays a major role in the Bro part of Ghana and other parts of Ghana. Of course, among the current environment, the atmosphere, oh my Ghana, you and then. When Ghana ni bia kasa e de no mo kan omo susu de and I say omo ankasa evaluation of the MPP administration and the Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo no e ya na say the city e ya na de na amafo ka wa wani tua be breso na ye bie phone lines na ubetimi ache wadwen e wo sa normal way ho eti so far the magada me de tse mo no eti why na betimi emerge as a successor of His Excellency Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo, and of course issues by and they be play out. Whoever emerges as flag bearer of the new patriotic party, issues by and a bit my bonashe form, issues by and a bit my peja nominate me abedim kunim. Yen display phone lines and was screen as soon as say na munso muntimi fre na moncha ma drain what XYZ tonight and the focus no war a MPP new patriotic party and dachia a domain and as a future na a domain who could possibly emerge as the flag bearer of the new patriotic party. What are the issues on what are the barriers on facing? What are the difficulties on facing? What are the gains on so I leverage said by me winning any elections in the future. Numbers in the good screen is so 0204 155 888 and I so 0204 155 944. Phrases here. Now they can't want to drain HME what and some media to him. Afa a year the new patriotic party no we MPP nya obetima frɛ we NDC nya obetima frɛ and some media to anim no odwen ho say 0204 155 888 and afa 0204 155 944 ofrefo dikaba. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. MSO 0204 155 888 and I feel so 0204 155 944. Mamisha messages are hodwa about our Facebook Live, a year TV XYZ, our Facebook Live, and I feel so TV XYZ, our YouTube. Hello, good evening. Within Ababia Kasefri.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. Betonka, within and Ababia Kasefri.
Nakasefri Asante Champon.
A champon. Yedia too many muhune say.
I'm for 2024.
At the end of Mount Yasa conviction, no?
Because only for Bamiadi, do what you want to the
okay, me do say, young call for some tentem, Obano Bodina, baby, Alcasa free. I am making sure say. Wakasa mfonyino wa dwomo said be ya ye betimi atonka 0204 155 888 and after so 0204 155 944 for fraba. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Within baby akasa free.
Me dey Victor because it's smart.
And seven bebre na mato abom anwumre kasa na mintie won so adwenkyere.
Baumia, Dr. Baumia will be regarded as one of the biggest liars ever in Ghana.
Yeah, Mampenia Bedi no.
Yes.
Then a Malcasa.
The biggest liar. Look, whatever Dr. Baumia has said has not been materialized. I mean, we're talking about this one factory. Nothing everything that Baumia has said. Nothing has. It's the biggest scam ever. Mm-hmm. In the system of Ghana. It's a scam.
It will be party anyway in your own.
That is that. Not my way.
me da say me enko frɛ for so na fe won so adwen kyerɛ fabra yes nkonya ye adwendwe o my Ghana ho 0204155888 and 0204155944. Hello, good evening. Within a baby ankasa free. Within and a baby ankasa free.
But that's what Alaji put too.
Alaji etio.
Alaji put me kasa free sukura.
Alaji meton kapa etio.
Yeah. Say far. I will start it from Excellency Baumia. Now, I said the record that Baumia is having in Ghana politics, especially when it comes to the last election, the promises that he made. You know, he claimed he was the economic, wizard. And when he comes, this is what the MPP is coming to rule to manage the economy. But if you look at the present trend of the economy, it is a total disaster. Once he has claimed ownership of the economy is not working. So who votes for him and who gives him the mandate to be the next flag bearership? Maybe within their party, he's also having his followers. His followers may think that he's better than other flag bearers who is contesting. When you come to Alatremate, who can be taken from Kufuor time and then to Nanado time, who say they consistently made him the trade minister. You know the reason why? Because they intentionally always give him that position so that they can see that he's a flop. That is exactly what they have done.
All right. But that's a mommy call for so now you heard the honor so work message you say XYZ more yard ya pa nyame enhyiramo mommy call for so hello good evening.
Hello good evening.
Within a baby akasa free.
Yo ya tanda pa ya no 20 e konti ko in central region.
Eja ye tie o.
Yo enyi me mabo abaso ni juma odi. Na me ya amo mi ni na qualify because Baumia ka say abema ya ko in restoration. But aba enu me no constituency yo ekusi so ha. Ogba mini ba ogbanya another company am ya pound on ya adi am the potato. Okọ abura pe ko amanka tia. Ti oni ti alancha mantia. Stop trade and industry. Enyi me na. And the union ko be do am dey ferry. Yeah, good matter to entity. In the way of the other, but as I'm going to be on the and then you move up primary, but maybe I'm going to come my winner. But move when you're election. Nobody is going to do a good in any year. Almost better than a person. You are some mom because of Mamma Abba, because we didn't watch that. Just don't show.
Hey, so with we free we at XYZ tonight or TV XYZ and a year full blown analysis our NPP a year or Frank Tuni Di Breno. Why the bit me Eddie anymore? Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello, MSC Ashura Wahomano so 0204 155 888 and I feel so 0204 155 944. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Baby Ankasa free. Eja yetio.
Yo, macho MPP. Omudi obi abakwa ombelu. It's also the 2020 campaign NDP and RN. Obi a MPP ya radio bilis or looking at it. And no committee for a year. Ekiti and now committee for Ekiti I think more 4%. I thought quite the force or more year or more in some passes or more than a teacher teacher and I cast on no person in India. Teacher now I call in another say my discovering in India. The teacher me air tennis. The KPS of Fatano, Fabano. And 4%. Now, what come my teacher me and now 44%. Who could walk 57%. Now, when you crawl for or you would give me when you wicked person.
Anoship, Mr. Wa. We are Cassan for you. We're bedroom Casa, Mr. Wa. Yana, ya take us on so Yama, so Abba from Kakra. You call for so. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, open your here.
Within a baby Akasa free.
Fantastic.
Bibia Boko, me display normal board, no so the atremo. Most of my drinks, and say.
My drinks, I didn't say, I mean, national and another. You'll tell me what I'm about you, and I'm not putting that. Opening, Kaka, I can say, you know, my phone, I come before my
But what the Kowasam so all around.
Okay, my photo. Okay. May I can't person the kind of study. Okay, almost vice now. Opening the very young money. Which would the Yama for good Rumano. And or my name, and it's still a kind of time. It's a 5 days. Opening, yes, Yama, a court to Ruma. Because of her vice. And some of the people are okay. The make back to say, right? No, you can the whole Africa brana. Make back say, will be after the go turn program because let's go to you know. At the moment, they so by a frag bella. I want to see you know. A bear thing so by your frag bella brana. I'm not going to Papa because Papa knows you or one will you Papa.
All right.
I'm to Ghana for yes, go. What I get my who's then I question your own politics. I guess I can move on the politics party at all.
But I say, you call friend for so me sure say you for me and say but answer na of friend for but message will say the least said about Dr. Mamadou Bawumia the better. We a message free Nuhu Jobless Abdullah. Hello, good evening. We din and a baby Akasa free.
Good evening.
Oh, XYZ tonight so it will TV XYZ. Your friend say and a baby Akasa free. Isaac, mami tiwe. Oh, the AD won't come away.
I'm going to me na as one that can say MPP has said it is disappointing. Both offense saying MPP new telephone and I'm disappointed Ghana. Me assure say if the Bawumia and I say even MPP candidate to be at now. Me assure say Ghana because we disappointing. The only to me that father be on I be get to for now because you need to know. But we all can't say anything for money na economy no emboa na ade no. Ono de tin na no em say Obama Ghana dane. And I say Ghana atuma tumpon. But right no. Get mo ma be say. Say be for especially youth. Especially yeah. Benefit
all right, me that say so friend. I will come message where Sika added a message about say his record win within almost 5 years will hit him so hard. We a message free Sika Salma Dankofa say wow XYZ mo ya dear papa and I feel so yeah Daniel was I heard Kufado is coming to your studio. Well of course yeah this interview no bro but so hello good evening.
Hello good evening.
Would you never be a casa free?
But your friend has been
you.
I think I can say Bawumia say a bit for the baby over by a habit one.
Oh, hello. Let me say Yashrin Wahuman so Yanko for Froson Tentam. Hello, good evening. Hello. Let me say Anton Kawa Humano so message will say Efri Abdul Basit Mutawakilu will say I'm watching live from Abuaso Zongo. Thank you very much for the good job. In Team God's Way, also the Nediaba, also kudos to XYZ. You guys are helping us to appreciate the issues, and that's exactly what we need in this country, that issues are laid bare for us. Message will say, good evening, bro. I'm watching live and good analysis on the MPP and Bawumia. The battle line has been drawn, really drawn, between XYZ tonight and of course, Omo Maka, Omoso Enyas analysis na Yenshe said ye noma ebesiako. Well, Yenfanchene ha. Na next time around, no, Yebedomo Sukobio, of course, you will NDC Amanyo Kumu. Na fe Yashe, Nia Ebetmesi, in terms of Nia Obetmi LED, the National Democratic Congress, MPPDN de Bremo. Of course, you will CPP, be will Amanyo Kuni Yinemu Nafe, Yetimi Abrausa analysis, as and when we have it. XYZ Jumedie, XYZ tonight, Jumedina, Yede Bremo, no, and Neno, Yede Esi, Midiane, Prince Kwame Minka, Oman Komochucheno, and Twaso. You wish you had Power 97.9.